Oh, sorry. Oops. Yeah. Is it audible?
Yeah, it is audible. Yeah.
ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्युषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम्
Good morning, everyone. I will just be sharing my machine. 1 minute. Taking some time. I hope now the voice. No, there is a problem. Sorry, students, 1 minute. I will just try. Joining with two devices, sometimes it doesn't show the option that join with other device with mute. Now it is showing. So now it won't have a issue. Yeah. So I have planned today that, this longest common subsequence we'll be doing, and the other topic I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, I don't want to start and then do it on Monday. But if we have enough time, if we will be left with 20 minutes, we will start the next topic. That is similar to longest common subsequence, but it deals with integer numbers. Okay. So, and then later on, we will discuss that can we solve it using the longest common subsequence problem itself, like that we will discuss. So, and next Wednesday is your quiz 2 students, all of you know, right? So that is fine. Even I get time to prepare questions. Did you hear anything? Are they saying for you to, for the college to, for you to physical classes? Anything you came to know? Because I did not come to know anything regarding that. So, fine. So we were discussing and we were here, we had taken these examples. So this is what we were discussing finally. Right? So this was the longest common subsequence problem. And we were trying to identify what will be the sub problem. So the sub problem was we are assuming that we are not worrying about the exact subsequence now, what will be the exact subsequence, but we are interested in finding the length of that LCS. So we have two cases. So if we are saying the first case, if we start with the last character, if both the sequences have last character as same, and we assume that x, the length of x is n and length of y is m. So if x n is equal to ym, that both of them are same, means we will say that okay, at least one character is matching. So at least longest common subsequence is at least 1. So that's why we are adding 1 plus, and then we are reducing the problem by, you can say x is reduced by 1 and y is also reduced by 1. So x 1 to n minus 1 and y 1 to m minus 1. So that is the first part, and this becomes your terminating condition also. Otherwise, what happens? We have two cases. So in one case, we are saying that, okay, the last two characters are not matching. So we will keep x as it is. If you see, we will keep x as it is, and y we will reduce the one character. Why? Because we anyways know that this is not going to match. Other case, we will take y as it is and we will reduce x by 1. And then we will say whichever gives, this combination or this combination, whichever gives us the maximum value, because we are interested in counting the length now. So whichever gives us the maximum value, we are interested in finding that out. That will be our answer. Again, it will have the same problems, like we don't want to repeat the work, right? As in any other dynamic programming solution. So we will take care of that part. So we are going to build the solution from the bottom. That every time we will do by one character, and whatever results are there, we will store it somewhere, so that next time when I need the same result, I am going to use it. Right? So here you will see we will again, like previous problems, we will use array as a data structure, right? And we will see how exactly to do it. So what types of sub-problem solutions do we need to store, right? So basically, we are trying to store these things, no? We are trying to store longest common subsequence of x 1 to j and y 1 to k. Okay, nothing to worry about what is j and k. If you see, our question starts like this: x and y it can differ. These are just variables. X is n of length n, y is of length m. So in between, when we break down the problem like this, somewhere we will have something like that. We are trying to actually find out the longest common subsequence between x 1 to j, some variable j, and y 1 to k. So we will just be working with j and k, that's all. Or you can call it as I and j also. So that is the kind of sub-problems that we are going to use. We are going to store. So what we are trying to say is these two are different indices. I and k are different indices. It is not that they are same. They can be anything. So we will end up solving something like this, right? So it is the same thing, that we have said. So what we are trying to say is, if I have something like this, you know, if I'm saying ij, LCS ij, okay. So now, you know, if you try to see, you know, there is a difference, okay. Here I am saying LCS XY, okay. Here I am saying LCS XY. This LCS XY is, I am trying to find the longest common subsequence between X and Y, wherein X is a string and Y is a, you know, X is a sequence and Y is a sequence. Here, when I am saying LCS IJ, this is not the same, this LCS XY. You understand that, right? This is LCS IJ is my data structure basically. It's an array. Okay, that is going to solve this problem. It is not a function. Okay, so we are saying that we are going to make an array wherein we are going to store these values. So every time I get the answer of, for example, LCS XY, I will be storing it based on the index. I will be storing some part of the solution somewhere. So suppose I have an index. Okay, so we are assuming that you have X as a subsequence, Y as a subsequence, and the index of X, we are calling it I, and index of Y, we are calling it J. Okay, though we have written here JK, let us call X as I, and the index of X we associate with I, and index of Y we associate with J, for example. So we are saying what will be the value of LCS XJ. Okay, so it will be like this. It is going to be LCS ij is going to be 1 plus LCS I minus 1 comma j minus 1 if xi is equal to yi. Simple, right? So if suppose, you know, it's a simple logic. If you x you are treating with index I and y we are treating with index j, and I want to find out what is the difference, what is the length if you are if you are doing a match between those indexes. Very simple. If you are doing match between those two indexes and those two indexes are matching, if xi is equal to yj, that means LCS is going to be 1 plus LCS I minus 1 j minus 1. Right? We are just trying to understand, you know, what data structure we will be using for solving the smaller subproblem. Otherwise, the same thing, it comes here. Otherwise, once I will say that from X, I will see the count LCS I minus 1 J, and the other way it is LCS I and J minus 1. So I am reducing 1 from Y, and here I am reducing 1 from X. And whichever gives me the maximum counting, I am going to take that one. So this is the only logic that we apply to building a solution from bottom up. We will see the example. Okay, so this is the example here. Okay, it's very simple, but if possible, you can make a note of it so that, you know, when we do calculation, it is little easy. Okay, so what we are doing here is we have X, I am writing in X axis. For example, let us say we can reverse also. X is a string sequence that is given as A, B, C, B, D, A, B. Y is another sequence that is given as B, D, C, A, B, A. This is the first example that we had seen. Now we are putting it in the form of algorithm to identify what is the longest common subsequence. Probably you can find that out. What is the longest common subsequence? I guess it comes as 4. The length of the longest common subsequence comes as 4. And we are interested in finding the length right now. And then what we do is for X, we have an index I. For Y, we have an index J. So the index of I, actually we start working from 1. Okay, you have seen in the algorithm also, the algorithm starts, the sequence starts with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here also for Y, it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why this 0, 0? We will use as a terminating condition for initializing, because we want to make our solution bottom up. That's why we have taken this extra 0, 0, but there is nothing at this particular index. Okay, so the same way for Fibonacci and tree counting, we had to initialize some entries in the array, right? We initialize, no, like what will be fib0, f0, f1. Similarly, for tree counting, for 0 and 1, we initialize. Similarly, here also we need to initialize so that, you know, we can get the correct count. So here the initialization is going to be wherever we have done all zeros, when xi is 0 completely and when yi is 0, this particular row 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, and here also 0, 1, we need to initialize this part. Okay, so that will be for building up the solution. Bottom, what happened? Okay, so that's what we do here. So like that we do here. So here, so here what exactly we do? So we initialize these LCS I minus 1, J minus 1. Okay. So you can treat it like this when I is 0, when I is 1, because you are starting index of X with 1 actually. If you see here, it is starting with 1 and Y also starting with 1. But when you will say I minus 1, J minus 1, it will become LCS of 0, 0. So you need to initialize that case. And what is this? This array is your LCS array, LCS IJ. This is an array. Okay, so you are defining this data structure and this data structure is giving you the final answer. So whichever value, when you are building up the bottom up solution, you are picking the previous values from this data structure. So we need to define all these. Okay, so I minus 1, J minus 1 means 0, 0 we need to define, and then I minus 1, J. I minus 1, J means 0 with all these values, this row. And I and J minus 1 means I and J minus 1. Sorry, I and J minus 1 means this 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, like that we have to define. Okay, so this is how we initialize. As per the algorithm, what we do is, these are the steps. We need to initialize values within one smaller in each dimension. So this is how, this is the terminating condition wherein we initialize 0. So what basically, it is indicating? It is indicating that if I am matching 0, nothing in the X has nothing. Okay, the indication is X has nothing and Y is B. Then what is the length of common subsequence? 0. X is nothing but Y is BD. This is also 0, right? This is also 0. That is what it is meaning. Similarly, if your, this thing is 0, if your Y is 0, Y is 0, nothing, okay? But X has these values. X is also nothing, or X is A, B, C, D. It has a value. What is the count that it is matching? Longest common subsequence is going to be 0. That is the logic behind it, right? So then what we do is, now we want to, now we fill the our task is now to fill this matrix. Okay, once we fill this matrix with this particular logic, we get the answer and we will see where will be the answer. Okay, we need to understand, how exactly it is going to work. Okay, so I will just explain the algorithm first, then I'll come back here. Okay, because somehow that is not shown completely here. So this is the algorithm. Okay, so that there are less confusions, I will just show the algorithm first. Okay, so we have the algorithm like this: LCS length XY. Okay, so the name of the algorithm is LCS, to find the length. It is not finding the exact subsequence, it is just finding the length. LCS length XY. X and Y are two subsequences, two sequences you can say. Then M is the length of X, M is the length of X, and N is the length of Y. We have taken the variables as M and N. Then further we will take I and J to work it out. Okay, but the maximum length of X is M and the maximum length of Y is N. This is the first initialization. C00 becomes 0. That's what we showed. The first case is C00 becomes 0. And then the other initialization, for I equal to 1 to M, you make C I0 is 0, and for J equal to 1 to N, you make C0 J to 0. This is the initial part that we did. This is how we initialize the matrix Cij, and we are interested in finding all the values of Cij. Okay, now the rest of the algorithm is here. So this algorithm actually satisfies, this algorithm actually tells the condition that we have identified as subproblem. Okay, so let me again repeat that for working with X, I have the index as I, and working with Y, I have the index as J. So what you will realize that what we are doing, we are trying to do it, we are trying to fill the rows. Okay, first we will complete first row, then we will complete next row, then we will complete next row, like that. So that is why we are saying for index of I means X, 1 to M. Okay, so that means I am traversing row wise. And within each row, then I am traversing column wise for J equal to 1 to N. Fine. So first row wise, and within row we are traversing column wise, j equal to 1 to n. And then we do like this. If xi is equal to yi. So every time I am finding, I am comparing the index. Now, when you say I equal to 1 to m, the 0th row you have initialized, now you are actually starting the counting. So you are checking for every index, I is 1. So you are checking if xi is equal to yi. If xi matches with yi, so you say that Cij is going to be 1 plus, that means at least one character has matched, right? So if that is the case, you are going to say Cij is 1 plus Ci minus 1, j minus 1. So in this case, you will require the previous value of Ci minus 1, j minus 1. Okay, it is like this. It is like this. So if this is the array given to me, okay, if this is the array given to me, okay, so if this is the array given to me and I am here, okay, so suppose I want to first fill this particular row. So I want to know that what will be the value of C11, right? C11 is going to be, I will check, I will check if A is matching with B. Okay, A is not matching with B. If it was matching, okay, if it was matching, then I will say it is going to be 1 plus. If it was matching, I will say it is going to be 1 plus. What was the cost before? Cost before means this and these two values. I am actually performing what is the, so what I do is I actually see these two values. Just see that this value, this row, this column, and this column, this row. Okay. So with the algorithm also, I have tried to paste it here so that it is clear. Okay. So this is what we are doing. If xi is equal to yi, what we do is Cij is 1 plus Ci minus 1, j minus 1. Let me leave this now. Okay. Why? Because this is not the case that we are discussing. Okay. Let me go to the next step of the algorithm. What it says is if xi is equal to yi, it says something. Okay. Then it says else if, that means if xi is not equal to yi. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so first case did not work out for us. So this is how it goes. I will take this again. If xi is equal to yi, this is what we do. Else if xi is not equal to yi. Okay, then what we do is we check Ci minus 1j if Ci minus 1j is greater than Cij minus 1. If it is greater, then what we do is Cij, you will see that we are actually taking the greater value. Cij becomes Ci minus 1j. Otherwise, what we do is Cij becomes Cij minus 1. So if you see the logic behind this, the logic is we had written no, what is the maximum value, right? So if you see these two terms are nothing but in one we are reducing, we are keeping the index of y as it is, just x we are reducing, and here we are reducing the index of y, we are keeping x as it is. So we are, if you will realize, the cost will become whatever is the maximum cost. Not cost, the count becomes whatever is the maximum. Okay, so you will realize that you are every time comparing, if you are here, so basically if you are here, suppose you are here, okay, for example, in this question mark. So what you are doing, you are actually comparing this value and this value. You will realize, okay. So if you want to calculate this question mark, you are comparing these two values. And whichever value is bigger between these two, you are making that value. You are making that value. This will happen when xi is not equal to yi. Okay. If it is equal to, then you are doing 1 plus the previous value, Ci minus 1, j minus 1. Okay, so what will be the previous value? Ci minus 1, j minus 1 means you are going, which value? I think it is going to be this value, no? If I am here, if I is 1 and j is, if I is 1 and j is 4, let us say. So I minus 1 is going to be 0 and j minus 1 is going to be 3. So you are taking this value plus 1. So the logic is very simple. When you calculate, it comes like this. If you want to calculate this value and corresponding xi and yi are not, if they are not matching, then you compare these two values. Okay, whichever, these two values, whichever value is bigger, that you assign it. But if it is matching, then you are just going to see this previous value, I minus 1, j minus 1, and you add 1 to it. Like that, you can calculate the matrix. Definitely, we should apply using the algorithm how to calculate the matrix. We will check, but you should see that, okay, that logic is also working or not. Okay, so we will just see this example for few cases. Okay, so I tried to put it, but if you want to see the algorithm now, I have to make it in this fashion. Now I think this is better. Okay, so you have the algorithm also here. So let us calculate. Okay, few values we will calculate. So here what we are doing, initialization is done. Now I want to calculate C11. Okay, I want to calculate C11. C11 means C11 when you come here, so xi is 1 and y is 1. Okay, so you calculate Cij. So now you actually check if xi is equal to yi. So A is equal to B? No, it is not there. It is not matching. So it goes to else if, right? It goes to else if. Else if says that whether this is bigger than this. That is also not matching. That is also not happening. They are equal. Okay, so it comes to else case. Because they are equal, it doesn't matter which value you want to assign. So what happens? This value will become 0. Everybody agrees to that? This value becomes 0. It is simply as simple as that, saying that you want to compare A with B. It is not matching, so it is going to be 0 only. Right? What is the longest common subsequence between A, B? Similarly, when I traverse A and D, that is 1 and 2. I is 1 and J is 2. That also it is going to be 0. Right? That also is going to be 0 because it is not matching. Okay, then you do, so this is going to be 0. This is going to be the next value, till here you will realize that it is going to be 0. It is as simple as saying you compared A with B 0, A with D 0, A with C 0. Now you come here, A with A, right? A with A, which case it is? Here the value of I is 1 and value of J is 4. Value of I is 1 and J is 4. So you are calculating 1, 4. Right? So when you calculate 1, 4, you come to the first case that xi is equal to yi. Okay, then what is the rule? Xi is equal to yi means Cij, C14 is going to be 1 plus C03. Okay, C03 is this value, that is 0. So I'm going to put an entry as 1 here. Right? So this entry is going to be 1. So next entry I want you to calculate. This entry is going to be 1. Right? Now we will calculate. So longest common subsequence, if you see, so it is saying 1 means, this is what is the written. The meaning of this is that LCS between A and BDCA is 1. The meaning of saying this is LCS between A and BDCA is 1. That is clear to everybody. Right? Now, please calculate LCS 1 and 5. The next entry, what will be the value? 1 and 5. So shall I show the algorithm? The algorithm is like this. Algorithm is like this, and I want to calculate 1 and 5. 1 and 5. And it is not matching, right? It is not matching. 1 and 5, where it is not matching. 1 and 5, it is not matching. 1 is A and 5 is B. It is not matching. Okay. And I want you to calculate 1 and 5. C15. It is not, it will not match with C0. It will not come to this greater case also. C05 and C04. C05 and C04. 04. C14, yeah. C05 or C04, yeah. Right? So what will be the value, students, there? Simple. I want to calculate C15. Okay, I want to calculate C15. So it will go here. The case is xi is not equal to yi, right? So then I have to check C05. I have to compare C05 and C14. C05 and C14. Whichever is bigger, that I am going to take. Okay, C05 and C14. Okay, so this is the case. So I will compare between C05, okay, okay, I want to, okay, this was calculated. This was 1 actually. Now I want to calculate C15. So I see C05. C05 is 1 and C14, which C14 is what? 1, right? So which one is bigger? Now you already have an entry of 1 here and you want to calculate this value. Okay, it is like this. See, this is the current situation. After you filled it up, right? You found LCS A and LCS BDCA as 1, right? How did you get this? Because you came to a position where A is equal to A, okay? And so you did 1 plus this value, 1 plus this value. So this value was 1 plus this value and this value was 0. So you got a 1 here. Now the next thing is I want to find out C15. Right? So for finding C15, I am seeing that there is no match. A is not matching with B. So what next I have to do? I have to see whether, I want to find out this value, right? This value, 15. So I will check this value and this value. I will compare with these two, right? And whichever is bigger, that will be this value. So 1 is more than 0, right? So the next entry I will get will be a 1 here. Simple. It is as simple as that. Okay. Similarly, you will find out that this next value is also will become 1 because it is not matching. No, it is matching now. Now what is happening? When you came here, A with A. Now when you compared 1, 6, okay, when you compared 1, 6, it is matching. Okay, why this is 1 is A and A is matching. A and A is matching means it will go to first case. First case is going to be 0. This 0 plus 1. That's why it is coming as 1. Okay, that's why it is coming as 1. Similarly, if you keep calculating, you are going to get it like this. Okay, now for example, when you come here, x is 2 and y is 1. Okay, so when you see B and B, okay, B and B, when you calculate, it is going to be, this is 0 plus 1. It will be 1 because it is a matching case. Now, when you say B and D, okay, B and D are not matching. B and D are not matching, but then you are going to compare this 0 with this 1. See, when you come here in this particular row, row number 2, you are going to match first B with B. So answer will be 1. Okay, why this has come as 1? Because it is matching. So you are going to do this 0 plus 1. Whatever is here plus 1. That is how you got it. Now you want to calculate this value. How you will get this value? B is not matching with D. Okay, if it is not matching, then what you do is you compare this value with this value. Whichever is bigger, that you are going to put it here. So that is how you are putting it. Similarly, how this 0 is coming? Because B is not matching with C. Okay, B is not matching with C. So, and you are finding that this 1 is more than 0. So you are going to make it as 1. Okay, similarly, it will, again, now B is not matching with A. So that's how you got this as 1. Right? Now, how did you get this as 1? Now here B is not matching with A. When you come here, B is not matching with A. Because it is not matching, so what you do is, sorry, B with A, because it is not matching, then you compare which one is bigger. Okay, so when you compare, this one is bigger than this. No, it is not bigger. It is equal. So when it is equal also, it assigns one of the value. So that is how you got a 1 here. Now can you identify how this you got this 2? Okay, so B and this B and this B, you are getting answer as 2 here. Okay, why? Because it was matching. See, B was matching with this B. So whenever there is a match, what you do is you go to this diagonal value. You wanted to find out this, you go to this diagonal value plus 1. That's how you got it as 2. And then finally you do B matching with A. It doesn't match. Because it doesn't match, then you pick the bigger value out of these two. So you get it as 2. Okay, likewise you will get it. Now you please verify what will be the answer here, this question mark. And I want the answer, you just please quickly calculate from this B, that is this B and this B. Okay, so it is this B and this B is trying to say that what is the LCS between ABCB and BDCAB. That is what it indicates, this question mark. What will be the answer here?
3, ma'am.
3. Everybody understood, right? Because this B is matching with this B. Whenever there is a match, what we do is we go to this value, this diagonal value plus 1. So that will become 3. Yes. So that will become 3. Likewise, you will be calculating, this will become 3. And then it keeps repeating as 3. And finally, you will see that there is a change. Here it will become 4. When it comes here, this A and this A matches. Okay, so the answer becomes this diagonal 3, okay, plus 1. So it becomes 4. But again, when you calculate, it comes like this. So the count comes like this. So the question is, where is the final answer? So you are actually developing it bottom up, and you realized that, you know, what is the meaning of this? But if you are calculating this value, this says that the length between the longest common subsequence of ABCB and BDCAB is 3. That is how we have to interpret. You know, it's not that you are finding out. Basically, we started like this. What is the longest common subsequence between this and this? But in between also you have answers. If I want to know what is the longest common subsequence between ABC and BDC, so you will say ABC and BDC comes here. It is 2. You have all the answers if you see. What is the longest common subsequence between ABCB and BD? ABCB and BD. It is 1 only. ABCB and BD. It is 1. So you have all the answers. So now where is the final answer? What is the final answer? Because what is the meaning of final answer? We have answers for all the sub problems as well. In this matrix, we have answer for all the sub problems. Where is the final answer that tells me that this the longest common subsequence between 1 to 7 A, B, C, B, D, A, B and this? What will be the final answer? You tell me in terms of array index. What will be the final answer? Isn't it? It will be 7, 6, the index 7, 6. This will be the final answer. Because this particular value of 4 here is going to tell me that it is actually telling you that what is the longest common subsequence count between A, B, C, B, D, A, B and B, D, C, A, B, A. So this is the final answer. And all other answers are also correct. So they are telling you. So this, for example, this 4 is the answer for the longest common subsequence between A, B, C, B, D, A, B, D, A, B and this B, D, C, A, B. Okay, so where is the final answer with which we started was this last entry, you can say 7, 6. That's the final answer. And you developed the solution bottom up, right? That's the answer. So this is the algorithm that we did. And finally, the algorithm returns CMN. That's the answer. Because we wanted this LCS length XY and it returned CMN. So if you have a matrix as CMN, you started with the matrix of size CMN and this value CMN is the final answer. That is what your algorithm returns, right? So these are the base case initialization, and then this you do it row wise, you fill in the matrix, and this is one case when they are matching, and when they are not matching, you are taking the value. So you must remember the algorithm, but suppose you get a problem in exam, student, suppose, okay? Maybe first of all, you may have to understand, okay, you are trying to map the problem here with what the problem may not be directly asked, but something like this. So if you know how does it work, you know, you need not every time apply the algorithm. So this is something that's like identifying the pattern, how I am going to make it, right? So that is what we return. So what is the running time of this algorithm? 2 for loops. No, where here this one only 2 for loops. No. So will it be m into n? I think so, right? It should be m into n. Yes, theta nm or theta mn or o nm or o mn. If n and m are same, you can call it as m square. But let it be m and n. Okay. So now the question now, you know, we did not discuss that what is the exact sequence. We only found out the length, right? But the same matrix actually tells me what is the exact sequence. That also it tells me. Okay, so we will have to modify the algorithm little bit, not modify. We have to just try to find out the pattern there to tell what is the exact sequence. Okay, so I will just show you how to do it, and then we can analyze on that. Okay, so our LCS algorithm only calculated the length of LCS between x and y. What if we wanted to know the actual sequence? Yes, we want to know the actual sequence. We really want to know. Okay, so this is the part which will tell me the actual sequence. Okay, so there is a very simple rule. Okay, so what we are doing is we can, you know, I am not telling in the form of, you know, how you program or something, but the rule is very simple. Okay, what we do is we draw arrows. Okay, how do we draw arrows in the same matrix? Wherever we have xi is equal to yi. Okay, wherever we have xi is equal to yi, we draw the arrow like this. And wherever we have x, you know, x ci minus 1, you know, the row wise, you know, if you see that ci minus 1 j is greater than cij minus 1, then you put a, if you go to the else if part, you put a arrow like this. Okay, and if you get, you know, so how are you putting the arrow? You know, it is like saying this, you know, ci minus 1, I minus 1 means one row. So ci minus 1 j, you know, so the arrow you are going to put within the you can say column. You know, this arrow tells you that you are the column is same. See, this arrow tells you that the column is same. Okay, only thing is you are changing the row. Okay, so from ith row you are going to I minus first row whenever this happens. Otherwise, if this value is greater, otherwise, you know, if this value is not greater, means it may be same or it may be less. Okay, otherwise you make the arrow like this. This arrow indicates that you are not changing the row, but you are changing the column, right? So you are actually moving from, you will see you are moving from j minus 1, you are actually moving from j to j minus 1. That is how it will happen. Okay, so let us see, you know, how do we put the arrow? Okay, so we can follow the arrows to generate the solution. Okay, so wherever, you know, it has been, wherever, you know, we had 3 types of arrows, right? Wherever it was equal, we had the arrow like this. Okay, now you can just understand, you remember, students, you know, it's very pretty simple again to say like that. Why did you get this 1 year? You got this 1 year. For example, I am here. Okay, how did I get this 1 year? Actually, I had a 0 and I added 1 to it, right? Because this was matching, this a was matching with this a. So what we did was I went to this value and then added 1. So just put an arrow wherever you have done that. You put an arrow like this. From this 1, you have added 1 value. You put a value here. Here also you have got, because of it was equal, right? This a was equal, so you put an arrow like this. Everywhere you do that. For example, here from 4 to 3, from 4 to 3, from 3 to 2, like that you are going to put an arrow. Okay, that is one case. And otherwise, what you have done is, otherwise the next case is when ci minus 1 j is greater than cij minus 1. Okay, ci minus 1 j is greater means this value was greater. this value was greater than this value. Though it is equal, but it is going to that loop, you are going to put the arrows like this. Okay, you are going to put the arrows like this. Okay, otherwise the other, if you are falling into this, if you are not coming to else, if you are coming to else, then you have to put an arrow like this. So these are the three kind of arrows we are going to put. Okay, so we can analyze that. So if we are putting these arrows, so that is fine. You have put all the arrows and you will realize that if you trace these arrows, you will get the sequence. Right now, how to trace the arrows? Okay, you will realize that there will be only one way to trace the arrows. For example, I want to know what is the longest common subsequence between this full thing. So I have to start from here. Right? So with the green color, you can follow, because this was the last node, right? So from this node, where am I going? From this 4, I am going to this 4, right? From this 4, I am going to this 4. There is only one arrow. From this 4, I am going to this 3. This is the sequence. You just follow the arrow, you will find that there is only one path. 4, 4, you will never lead, it will never lead to two paths. 3, 2, 2, 1, like that you have come here. Now, when you start with this is B and this is A, right? So we will not take this. It is not matching. You come here 4. This A is matching with this A. So you are going to pick A. Okay. Then you come here. This is D and this is B. You are not going to take. You come here. This is B and this is B. So you are going to take B. Come here. This is C. This is A. You will not take. Come here. This is C and this is C. So you are going to take C. Come here, this is B and this is D. You are not going to take. Come here, this is B and this is B. So you are going to take that B. Okay. So and then you will say what is matching is, you will start writing from behind, from right hand side. So this was matching, right? When you trace this arrow path, you found that you started like this. A was matching, and then next match was B. Then next match was C. And then finally the next match was this one, this B. So B, C, B, A. So that is, so the matrix gave you the length of the longest common subsequence. Also, with the help of these arrows, we can find out what is the exact subsequence. You can follow the arrow anywhere. Now, if you want to find out the longest common subsequence between ABC and BDC, okay, then you have to start from here. ABC and BDC. You have to start from here and start following the arrow. You will get the answer, right? So in this case, the first answer will be C. Then you come to B. B and D does not match. Then you come to this B. B and B matches. So the answer is going to be BC. Anywhere we can do it. Okay. So probably you may have to try this out a little bit. I will upload the slides today, students, all the slides, because still here is the portion for our quiz 2 as well. Monday, Tuesday, we'll start with the next topic in dynamic programming itself. So probably this thing we have to just trace it out once to know the exact answer. Okay, so we wind up here, students. Okay, so that is what I had planned also, and we could do it. Fine, students. So have a nice week ahead, and we meet on Monday now. All right. Thank you, students. I'll wind up the class. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.